I don't know if I've ever shared this story with you, but we might have chatted about it sometime. About 25 years ago, because I was running this longevity and anti-aging nonprofit group in Palo Alto, I got an interesting email from a guy. I said, "Hey, Dave, I'm the guy who invented Wi-Fi." He had the first patent on 802.11b, which is the standard for Wi-Fi. And he was probably about 60 at the time. And we had coffee at Red Rock Coffee in Mountain View, California, kind of a famous place for entrepreneurs to hang out. And he said, "Dave, the reason I'm meeting with you is I took the millions of dollars worth of gear in my lab that lets me detect minute fluctuations in electromagnetic fields. This is what we use to troubleshoot Wi-Fi. And I turned it around and I looked at my body." And he flips his laptop around and goes, "And look what's here." He goes, "There's all this electrical data coming off the body. And there's a signal in here," right? And it kind of looked like a picture of the chakras, to be perfectly honest. I don't know if he even knew what a chakra was, but he was this hardcore engineer, didn't know anything about biology. He was like, "I noticed my body was doing this when I just turned my equipment around to look at things." And I was like, I know that this is real. And that was one of the first times I saw like a hardcore tech guy look at the body, because clearly we have a chemical system, right? And it works. But at the same time, we simultaneously have a light-based system and a magnetic-based system and a quantum-based system. And they're all communicating all the time. And as an architect of complex systems in my tech career, you probably wouldn't know this, but right now, what's happening is we're setting up our communication. There's all these different communication layers that are all talking to each other all the time to make sure that we can look at each other and we can hear each other. And it's invisible to us. But if I was to mess with routing tables, which are super buried in there, everything would stop working, right? So why wouldn't our bodies follow the same principle that there can be more than one control system for different purposes in the body? It actually makes sense. In fact, if you know complex systems, it's the only way biology can work, because some things have to be fast.
Absolutely. I mean, it's sort of fascinating because in medicine, it's like right there that they're using MRIs, magnetic resonance imaging. They use EKGs, they're using EEGs. So they're reading all these fields of the body, yet there's like this sort of blank stare that the fact that these fields could be actually doing something in the body or having a function. Yeah, they're reading them. It's sort of odd.
Yeah, the body just makes them to waste electricity because nature loves it when we waste electricity in biological systems. No, it doesn't.
Well, I mean, you bring up a great point, and it's ultimately, when you're looking at control systems, it's basically about how can you make the body's control system as efficient as possible? Because if you can make the control system efficient, a bit like an operating system, then you're saving energy. If you're saving energy, you have more energy available to actually heal the body. And that's when I said those two principles, there's recharging your energy. Well, you're using energy from external sources like light, like ozone or air, oxygen, etc. However, if you can actually make the body more efficient at using the energy, then there's just simply more energy available anyway. And if you do the two at once, which actually is when you talked about the technology in your franchises, what we're doing in that light bed, you're recharging the body with energy, but we're also doing a scan. So we're looking at where there are blockages in the body's control system. And then we're basically making those energy pathways more efficient in the body. And when you do that, pretty much, I mean, I don't want to make a claim, but basically you're going to help the body to regenerate itself.
Well, I'm willing to make a claim that if you can improve the way your mitochondria work, and by the way, infrared light and red light do that in lots and lots of studies, even without all the, we'll call them the codes or the blinking stuff that you've created that we've added to it. Just the light, by the way, sunshine does similar things, but other things as well. Then better functioning mitochondria, because you've structured the water with the infrared light, because you've added electrons with the red light, well, they're going to work better. And if cells work better, are you less likely to have diabetes because your cells are better at using air and food to make electricity, heat, and sex hormones and other chemicals? Well, yeah. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that. It's actually obvious. If your body has more energy, it'll do more of the stuff it wants to do.
It has more energy and it's more efficient. It's going to get better. I mean, when people talk about placebo effect or the body's own healing mechanism, it literally is that. It is that simple. More energy, more efficiency, you get your health back.